A roving village. How clever.
The beast is on the move, twisting the desert as it goes, waking ancient dead and unknown horrors alike. The Countess brought it here as part of some nefarious plan. I assume she has allies here. We must track them down and convince them to give up this madness. Those creatures are too coherent and intelligent to be manifestations of corruption. I suspect that they are the descendants of divine tampering. There was a being I once knew in the ancient days, a trickster, who would have appreciated someone to laugh at his ill-conceived humor. What more perfect audience for a sickening jester than a pack of gibbering hyenas? Thank you.
Who goes there? By the sound of your voice, you cannot be Marraketh. It is always intriguing to meet foreign warriors and learn their ways of war. I only hope I have weapons and armor that might be useful to you. I am Shambren. Does the scorpion sting carry less poison at night? In the hopes of taking on fighting duty again, I am still practicing the art of the sword. Red-eyed Nassima, she of the second sight, proved that there is more to combat than mere vision. However, there is still honor in serving the role of tradesmith and weapon master. I served as a Dekara for as long as I was able, and I intend to fulfill this duty with just as much dedication. Zarka holds all the wisdom and knowledge of the Adura, and the stories of many other Akaras as well. Our traditions help us survive as these lands turn to dust over generations, and in many ways, that lush beauty still exists for us through her words. Especially now the gods have returned to Rayclast. We know that our beliefs have power. Perhaps we can bring back those verdant forests and gleaming rivers, if only we have enough faith in a leader strong enough to make it real.
I have a very long official title, but you may simply address me as Zaka. The young ones will harp on and on about our strict traditions, but I'm old enough to get away with it. So I do. My role is that of a keeper of tales. I was chosen by my predecessor, rather than being allowed to become a Dekara or perform other duties. I'm not permitted near combat, for the stories I keep are one of our most valuable resources. We understand the plains of Vastiri through the lens of these words handed down to us over the centuries. We see what used to lie where sand dwells now, and hear the bold proclamations and lamentations of yesteryear. That is my role, to be the worldly eyes and ears of the Adura. Nassima, yes, Nassima, a great warrior, though with a complicated legacy. Born with eyes the color of blood, she was left to die among the dunes for being blind. But the Ferredin found her and raised her. A Balbalik, one might think, but no, she became an impressive warrior in her own right. And when called upon to raid her people, she recognized her mother's voice and turned and slaughtered her Ferredin captors. A true role model from the ancient days and a wonderful sleep tale for the children. This is the tale as it was told to me by our Akara's tale woman before me, and as told to her by the tale woman before her. These words have remained unchanged since the beginning. Many thousands of years ago, we were a simple people, hunters, roamers. We moved valley to valley in search of meat and berries. There was none of the discipline we know today, but that was about to change. These fair plains became barren and lightless. A time those generations called the winter of the world. 1,000 years of ice brought hardship and suffering, but that was only the beginning. To the south, the foreign tyrant An fell, and horrible creatures flooded forth under this darkness, seemingly born of bone and blood and foul magic. Survival meant banding together and creating the strict traditions that eventually became what we know today. To fight was to live. Disorder meant death. In the darkest depths of that era, when hope was but a memory, the twin sister Sekimas, Solarai and Landara, arose to unite our scattered peoples for the first time. They wielded the essence of gold and silver, gleaming with such ferocity that the grey skies had no choice but to give way. The creatures retreated under the sands, never to be seen again, and our fair plains blazed with emerald forests and sapphire rivers. This brought about the most glorious age of our people, a time of conquest, wealth, great heroes, and gods that lasted for another 1,000 years. But then, one fell winter, the gods vanished. Our beloved Garukan was the last to succumb, holding on for 2 moons against a powerful innovation. She gave what final orders she could, mandated our traditions be upheld, and then went silent. The Maraketh were not disturbed. We did not lose hope. We knew who we were, and those values had not left us with the departure of the gods. When the sky burned, when the Vaal fell, when the Eternals came and sought to be our masters, and then fell as well, we endured. We have protected these fair plains for 304 generations, and we will continue to do so for another 304. That is our duty and our birthright. She was a fierce warrior before she was blinded in battle. Focused, determined. Losing her sight has not changed that. I have no doubt that she will become skilled enough at blind fighting to rejoin the ranks someday. Indeed, blind Dekara were once instrumental in decimating an Eternal Legion during a sandstorm ambush. So it is not without precedent.
I am Asala, the Sekima of the Ardura. I care not where you came from, nor what caste you might have been there. All that matters is that you have shown yourself capable in battle, Jingak. Remain a friend to the Ardura, and you shall have nothing but respect from us. So, the beast has entered the world once more. We were following a trail of corruption before we were waylaid, and now we shall resume the hunt. We Maraket are honored bound to seek and contain corruption wherever it may be found. It seems the sacred duty falls on us once more. The trail connects to 2 locations, but we don't know where the beast currently resides. I am willing to begin wherever you and your shade thinks is wisest. Foreigners often misunderstand the concept of the Sekima. I am no dictator, and do not make some pathetic claim of divine right. Emperors are for nations filled with the weak-minded and soft, as history has proven every time an empire falls and we endure. I am Sekima, because others have put their faith in me as the strongest and most capable among us. I lead because there is no better replacement. It is a role I deserve, by definition. This Oriana would find no allies among our Akaras. We are no strangers to the eternal war against corruption. If she has allies in this region, they cannot be of the Maraketh. After the Beast of Highgate was slain, all other Akaras vowed to pursue and eradicate corruption should it ever return. Never again will a sole Akara suffer the weight of history. Corruption has returned to the Vestiri. Before this season, the Hyanic warriors you fought would never have dared raid a caravan. The dead have begun to rise again, and other creatures of the desert have started changing. By Zarka's accounts, the land is returning to the way it was before. These are ill times.
Sand and steel, fire and iron, flesh and bone. Insane, not luck. Perhaps that is true.
More time.
Stand still, too soon.
Oh fuck.
Sand and steel, fire and iron.
She's insane.
Insane? Perhaps that is true.
I need more time.
Deep breath. Burn oppressors!
Shivers! I need more time.
Ow.
I need more time.
Fuck.
Stand still.
I need more time.
Slow down.
Break the lock. I think not. Winds praise you. 1,000 praises, my friend. I thought I would die here. Please take me back to your caravan, and I will tell you anything you want to know. A defector. I admire those who resist tyrants.
What have you learned? Asala has agreed to aid us, exactly as I expected. The beast represents an existential threat to all the peoples of Rayclast. But even beyond that, she seems to be quite driven. She reminds me of a rambunctious young woman I once knew in Keth, who eventually rose to power, attained divinity, and led her people to greatness. It takes courage to go against one's people. I once faced a similar decision. There were men and women like me who believed themselves to be exceptional. And they were correct. Terribly, horribly correct. I cursed myself to a permanent exile from my own peers by betraying them. I was unlike mortals, but hated by immortals. I was alone. I would do it all again. And I still might. They call themselves the Ferelden in this era, but they have died out and been reborn many times. They are not an independent culture. They are the Maraketh's dark secret, the inevitable consequence of life's haphazard nature. A society cannot simply purge itself of the weak, the ill, or the disadvantaged. Those unwanted newborns abandoned among the dunes. They rarely die, no matter how much the Maraketh wish to make them simply disappear. No, they live. The Ferelden are the shadow of the Maraketh, always just out of sight, always watching. They rescue those children and raise them up on the outside, looking in. An unspoken relief for the father and mother that must give up their child. A gathering storm fated to one day return home with a fury. Do whatever it takes.
Publicly, I will decry them as loudly as anyone else. Privately, I understand. I do not condone their actions, but I have suffered some small portion of what they must feel their entire lives. To be honest, I expected them to turn on us eventually. This defector, Risu, will never be accepted by the Adura. You may trust her, and she may provide information about the enemy's intentions, but remember, she is a traitor to her people. We deal with our own traitors using excessive means. She is not one of us, so we do not consider it our duty to punish her, but neither will we protect her when the time comes. I remember her face from before the battle where I lost my sight. She is quite beautiful, and she has strength and cunning to match. I can think of no better leader for us. We, Adora, have put all our faith in Asala, and though we do not number enough to spark divinity in her, we still thrived under her leadership.
This Balbalak will live or die based on her usefulness in pursuit of the beast. Ask her what questions you will, then we Ardura will decide her fate. The Halani gates are closed, and the Faradan hold them in defense of the beast. We will have to find another way. If her information proves to be truthful, then she will live. If she is a deceiver sent to misdirect us, she will be left to die in the open desert once again. Fight to the last.
I know what Jaman-Ra intends. Atop the burial spires of Deshar lie the Maraket's most honored dead. The king has become driven by madness to seek any trace of ancient flesh from those of renown or power in life. He intends to feed their bodies to the horrific creature he keeps in a cage behind his throne. They call it the Beast. I have seen it, and the sight haunts my nightmares. The Halani gates are closed. Then Jaman-Ra must have succeeded in capturing them. He planned to close the gates to prevent the Maraket from interrupting his harvest. A siege from the front would be impossible now. But there is another way. An ancient passage lost to time. It was used by the traitor Balbala. I can show you where it is, if you will use it to stop Jaman-Ra before it is too late. I am of the Faridun. We are the shadows of the Maraket, the unwanted and the forgotten. Some time ago, a foreign woman came to us and offered us the power to take back what was ours. We took her deal. We had no idea what it would cost us. When she finally brought us the beast, it was not the glorious power we'd been promised. It was horrifying. Those of us who did not want to make war, those of us who were afraid of the beast, Jaman-Ra sealed us in the mine when his dreadnought was complete. This madness must end. Some may call me a traitor, but I do not seek the destruction of my brethren. I seek their salvation. You need not trust me. You will see the truth of my information soon enough. I ask nothing of you, only that you do what you know is right. This corruption that plagues the land, I cannot bring myself to fully believe it's the reason for my people's sickening turn. I know that when the beast first came to us, when Jaman-Ra was raised from death, he quickly became covetous and prone to fits of rage. Soon that fervor gleamed in the eyes of those around him. You say it's his corruption, but I have not seen anything in my brothers and sisters that was not already there. Corruption may exist, yes, but it does not fully control. It only excuses. The Faridun are warring against the Maraket because they desire to do so. They have always wanted this conflict. They want to make those who abandoned us suffer. What is that being? Does it travel with you? I would tell you not to trust a mysterious stranger in black, but that would make my own situation rather difficult. I cannot say I view the Maraket favorably, but there is no other power to which I can turn. Jaman-Ra is going mad, and I know that the Maraket will unite their scattered Akaras to confront him if the need is great enough. I believe that it is. The Maraket have no idea how great we number. We are larger than any one Akara by far, and my brothers and sisters hold a great bitterness, even before corruption came among us. Everything we do, from our garb to our food, is made opposite to the Maraket out of spite. I still feel some of that anger when I see them here, standing proud and colorful. Asala promises them a return to their glory days. But do they not have such glory now? I must pursue what I feel to be right. Asala might yet decide to have me put to death, or abandon me to the doom of the desert. I know these risks, but I had to try anyway. If you had seen the darkness rising in the hearts of my brothers and sisters, you would understand. I am not betraying them. I'm trying to save them from themselves. This Oriana, the one you called a countess. Jaman-Ra has declared her our queen. She first came to us from the south and seemed sympathetic to our cause. She promised us power, the power to take back our lives. She left for Azomite lands, vowing to return with something that would resurrect our greatest hero, Jaman-Ra. With that hope dangled before us, the Faridun united for the first time since his death. We prepared, as she asked. We took the quarry. We began working on the dreadnought. I am ashamed to admit that I was a devout believer in the cause. Until the day she kept her promise. She did return. She did bring the power to resurrect Jaman-Ra. She brought the beast. The sight of that thing chilled my soul. Those of us who objected to its presence were forced to work, mining and finishing the dreadnought. By the time we were done, madness was already rife, and we were sealed in the mine to die for supposedly betraying our people.
So, the outcasts have raised their new king from the grave, and he seeks to violate Deshar, to feed our honored dead to the beast. Such a transgression. Those vile dogs. Our city of the dead lies beyond the Halani gates. We should move to crush the Faridun immediately. Let us see if this defector's information is truthful. Infiltrate this supposed passage, find your way to the top of the gates without being detected, and then call for aid. I shall answer. Move swiftly.
Well, if it isn't the traitor herself. Let's get this over with.
I prove myself.
Not yet.
Daria.
We need more time.
Visions of blood.
Where is she? Oh fuck, I'm dying. Oh no. I lost sight of her for a second. Let's do this again.
Someone wanted these doors to remain shut. I should open them.
Now, Jingak, I prove myself.
I need more time.
Daria, it's me.
Right. Not yet.
Atun! Atun!
Too soon.
Visions of blood.
I need more time.
I shall dethrone you, Sekama, and leave you to the sand!
Oh no. Oh no.
I shall dethrone you, Sekama, and leave drop of a king!
Too soon!
The Maniket will fall! The Maniket will fall! By my hand! I tried to seek peace, and the Sekamas disgraced me! Rot in the sand. This time, we choose war!
Where? Come on.
We shall finish this! But not today.
Make haste! We must not escape!
Jarman Ra, the corpse
Quickly!
is
He
running
conjures
away.
the very sands against us! This is no natural sandstorm. We must battle sorcery with sorcery. Let us return to the caravan and entreat Zarka's wisdom.
The Countess has used corruption to resurrect Jamunra, and they have escaped with the beast. Thankfully, we have some idea what the Faradin intend. We must reach Deshar as soon as possible. I am accustomed to others shivering and turning away when my gaze falls upon them. But I must confess, for once, the feeling is reversed. Although she is blind, I sometimes have the strangest notion that she is looking at me, even at night. You have no idea how much restraint it requires to listen to tales of people and places I knew, yet not correct her. She's close, I shall grant her that. Often startlingly so. In certain details or sequences of events, but the spirit of what happened thousands of years ago, the essence of that life, it has been embellished. At other times, the stories convey only a pale shadow, and the true magnificence is lost. Or is it my memories that have drifted with time? I suppose we shall never know, because those days are gone, never to return. All that I once loved has been dust hundreds of years longer than you have even been alive. I was asleep during the era of Shaman-Ra. I cannot attest to the truth of recent tale, though I cannot say it is outside the realm of possibility. The Maraketh have strict traditions, erring on the side of brutal.
Jarman-Ra can control the sands? Oh, this was not an ability he had in life. It must be born of corruption. There is something in the tales that could help us overcome such a power. It was said that the horn of the Vastiri could control the winds. I believe the horn's location has been lost to time, but perhaps it is possible that we can reconstruct it. We would have to retrace the steps of our greatest heroine, Orbala, on her final adventure. Speak to Asala. She knows the tale and where it might take us. Let her know how you wish to begin. Or you may seek my wisdom if you have further questions. Ah, you released Balbala, the traitor. Then it is your duty to redeem her soul by allowing her to serve as a mentor Jinn during your dance with the Scorpion. In modern times, we give aspiring Decaras a straightforward test. For this task, however, the old ways are required. You will have to face a much deadlier trial. Speak to Asala. The original trial is not far from here, and the caravan is duty-bound to carry you there. The horn. How to condense a 7-day tale. It was created during Obala's 8th adventure, her final quest before becoming the Sekima of Sekimas. She wrested control of the 3 elements. Her trusty war steed, the great mastodon Ekbab, gave its tusks for the carving and the channeling of lightning. The essence of water was a secret held at the heart of Keth. And primordial fire must be earned from those that originally brought it to Rayclast. We will find them at the Valley of Titans. Yes, those are the 3 elements we will need. This is not the first time the sands and cells have been used against us. The necromancer of Weeping Black, Saresh, once waged war upon the Marraketh out of the nascent desert regions of that era. He commanded not only armies of the dead, but vast roiling storms as well. Hearing of this threat, Orbala set forth on a quest to master the elements. And in 3 places of power, she proved herself to the winds. Her reward came to be known as the Horn of the Vastiri. When she drew in a mighty breath and sounded the horn, it was so powerful. Every tent across the entire plains blew open. You can imagine what it did to the necromancer's sandstorms. Seizing their moment, the united Akaras stormed forth to savage the undead armies of Saresh. For this victory, Obala was made the Sekima of Sekimas. And after ruling with strength and cunning for many years, later became our Queen of the Wind, greatest goddess of the Marraketh. Her divine name was Garukan, which means ultimate sovereign. The tales, unfortunately, make no further mention of the horn after that. Each young one is much like another. Ferrodin, Marraketh, what does it matter to an old woman? Others may scowl for letting Risu sit and listen to my stories, but none may order me silent. Shaman-Ra? That's a tale I rarely tell. Every few generations, the Ferrodins stir up trouble. Shaman-Ra was their most successful attempt at causing problems. A very long time ago, he spread dangerous ideas among the outcasts and spoke to the Marraketh as if they were equals. His offenses were so great, the Sekimas joined together to approach and rebuke him. The tale says that he was so in awe of the glory of our leaders, he ended his own life and chose to fall forgotten in the sands. It is a strange conclusion to his tale, I must admit, but this is what is told. If he has been somehow reanimated through corruption, he will have only one goal: harming us. Do not wander.
Quickly. We Faridun have never had grand caravans. In our preparations, Jaman-Ra tasked our people with building one of our own. The intent shifted as madness crept upon him. Soon it became the greatest war machine the Vastiri have ever known. The wish for a better life was gone. Only thoughts of hatred were left.
Ah, yes. The Horn of the Vestiri. I know the tale. The ancient city of Keth, the Badlands, and the Valley of the Titans. We can retrace Orbala's steps in any order. The Balbalak has her life, for she was truthful. If she also wishes to be accepted here, that will be up to her. Fight to the last.
If you are traveling through Traitor's Passage, there is something I wish to ask of you. The traitor, Balbala. According to the tales, she is still sealed there, somewhere along the tunnel, as an undying djinn. She served her sentence long ago, but knowledge of the location was lost. It is long past time to release her. I will tell you her story if you wish, but I doubt it will mean much to a Jinga. So, you released Balbara from her prison, and she fought well. Good. She may now earn her redemption, if the ancient places still hold power. Her barrier contains her soul. She will tell you what to do next. Long ago, when Keth was the shining jewel of the Vestiri, and our trade routes were the envy of the known world, a weak-willed Sekema named Balbala betrayed her Akara for a promise of Welakath, a mythical elixir said to bestow great power. She led a band of foreign warriors through secret paths to the top of the Halani gates. Taken by surprise, the Akara was slain to the last woman. What was her reward? Not Welakath. The bandits put a spear through her gut in that very passage. A cautionary tale, yes. For her betrayal, the wise woman of that era enacted an ancient ritual, trapping Balbara's soul as a djinn for a sentence intended to be 1,000 years. Jingak, it has been far more than 1,000 years. By Zarka's reckoning, at least 2 or 3. The stain of Balbala's betrayal has been lifted from her legacy, yet the knowledge of her prison was lost long ago. Risu has proven herself, at least to me. She has spoken only the truth, and I believe she means well. In another life, we might have been fellow Dikara, or even friends. When I face his direction, there is a faint impression. Even the sun does not intrude upon my blindness, so this is a new sensation for me. What am I seeing from your strange companion?